Story 1. Reading, knitting, crochet, iPad games, YouTube, painting. I've been widowed twice. My first husband would turn on the TV, fall asleep, but wake up and complain if I changed the channel. We did have some favorite shows we watched. My second husband either watched the news or football. I have no interest in football and would read when it was on TV. For my peace of mind, I'm avoiding the news to avoid having to listen to or see anything pertaining to the incoming administration. I read the news on my iPad very selectively. Story 2. I learned to knit and crochet. It's so funny when I tell people because I'm a very alternative punk-style person, so they never expect me to knit. I am currently knitting Eeyore. I am making Pooh and Tigger next. Story 3. I haven't watched television, and you know what the best part is? I didn't even notice it happening. Instead, I spend my time reading books I've been putting off or going for walks just to get some fresh air. I also discovered podcasts. It's like radio, only better because you choose what you listen to. But most importantly, I stopped feeling like a zombie who just sits and stares at a screen. Now I have time for real things and for myself. Story 4. I have written 4 novels. I read a lot. I do not own a television, but once or twice a year something comes out that I want to watch. I wait for all of it to be available and spend a day with whatever friend has that streaming service. Story 5. Mostly making things. Also learning new skills and languages. Being present with my cat. Reading books and webcomics. Researching random topics. Meditating. Studies show that watching television all the time increases your likelihood of developing dementia, so I try to rotate tasks that increase neuroplasticity because who has time for that? Story 6. Mostly hobbies, which are photography, drawing, painting, soap making, crafting, traveling, fishing, and playing around at dog parks. I also spend a lot of time working, cleaning, and managing the household like paying bills and planning meals. Story 7. Work, spend time with my wife and son. I sit outside and have a little fire and a cup of tea most nights. I also have a wood shop I putter around in from time to time. I can't stand how the television has evolved. Televisions now are slow to load and it's hard to find a show. There are so many different streaming services. It's ridiculous. The whole experience makes me frustrated. So basically, it's more of a pain to use the television than to not use it. Story 8. Working on projects. We do own a home, so we are always busy. I understand if living in an apartment or other living situation this could vary. My husband does have an addiction to tablets and cell phones that I fight a lot because he would never get anything done. Cell phones are wonderful and they are also awful for us. Story 9. Reading, painting, listening to music, hiking, birdwatching, photography, gardening, working out, building or making things, researching random topics, puzzles, games, board games, and video games. Story 10. Read a lot. If curiosity builds up for a particular television show, I just watch the condensed or summarized version on YouTube. Do lots in self-improvement and development. I don't want to mindlessly give my precious minutes away to Netflix for a tad bit of dopamine. Story 11. Reddit, since I deleted permanently Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Tumblr. So mainly Reddit and texting people. I downloaded this app a few days into the new year, and it has been not only informative but oddly funny. The balance of very serious topics and people being absolutely unserious is pretty refreshing. Story 12. I was a latchkey Generation X kid, so television brought me up. I hate it now. I'm with a friend now and they have the television on. Ads are the worst. I pay for all my streaming, for example, YouTube, because I can't stand having someone scream at me in my house to buy something. Television ads are even worse. The ads are loud. Hobbies. Painting, vegetable gardening, rearranging my house feng shui style, cleaning, doing tarot, going to the beach, playing with my dog, exercising, and always studying either formally or informally. Right now, I'm studying Kabbalah, but previously I've done media, law, and psychology. My newest endeavor is learning how to make fine jewelry, including building the website, etc. So much to do. Story 13. I don't watch television, nor have I owned one in several years. The only time I'm watching a television is if it's in the bar or restaurant I'm visiting. Honestly, I feel much happier. I spend more time at the gym and enjoying hobbies such as mixing music. Ultimately, I do things that actually bring me happiness because watching television does not. Story 14. I just don't like television. I spend a lot of time watching movies, listening to podcasts, reading, writing, walking, hiking, and playing The Sims. All those I would much rather do than watch television, so I basically just never get around to it. Every once in a while I will get into a show though, like Mad Men and Breaking Bad. I have seen those and quite enjoyed them. I might every once in a while watch a nostalgia show like Degrassi. I want to say I also don't have a smartphone, which greatly increases my ability to concentrate on and enjoy these things. Story 15. Reddit, YouTube, gaming when I'm behind a screen. Playing or walking the dogs, cycling, or photography when I'm not. Tell you what, I really don't miss it either. I grew up addicted to television. We had to watch Roseanne, Married with Children, certain game shows, news, and soaps by default at home. When I was about 14, I grew so sick of it all that I tended to just spend time outdoors instead. Story 16. Shoot hoops with a group of friends twice a week. Go to the gym and cigar bar once or twice a month. Other than that, my two girls take up all of my free time. Story 17. If I am not working, I am listening to podcasts and audiobooks, watching YouTube, or getting dressed up with my love to go out. Sprinkle in Reddit in between everything. Story 18. Lab and working at the library as a Doctor of Philosophy student. Love wind tunnel testing and thinking about my teammate, whom I genuinely like a lot. I enjoy walking and getting some fresh air. I love working a lot or staying productive. Forgot the existence of a television as such. Story 19. Working on my novel. I used to be addicted to television. It was my heroin, and watching endless hours of it messed with my life. I only managed to kick it when television content started going massively downhill. My heroin was suddenly majorly stepped on. Story 20. It's been over 7 years without television. I have Netflix and Disney, watching 1 to 3 hours per week. When you have a family, you realize you don't have a lot of time. Depending on the stage in your life, you have less and less time to watch television. Answers you see here don't mention their situation. The bigger the family, the less time or inclination we have to watch television. Story 21. I mostly read and sometimes scroll through social media, but that's becoming quite boring now. I've always loved reading. It's my safe space and takes me out of the world. Story 22. Except for sleeping and my everyday activities, I usually spend my free time on a computer or a handheld computer. Sometimes even an in-between device called a tablet. Once in a while, I drink or go out to walk or eat something. Sometimes I even meet with people. Story 23. Reading, playing sports, spending time with family and friends, engaging in other hobbies such as listening to music, dancing, scrolling on Reddit, browsing the internet, going on websites, taking naps, and using recreational substances. Story 24. Read, fly fish, hunt, refinish furniture and restore antique guns, play with the dog, occasional video games. We have a 22-inch Toshiba TV with a built-in DVD player from 2008, and I'm not sure I'd ever want anything bigger. I haven't lived anywhere with cable TV since 2009, and we have a subscription to Netflix that my wife mostly uses. There's just so little that I'd have any interest in watching. What I like, I have on DVD or Blu-ray, and if I really want to see the rare show that appeals to me, I download it. Story 25. Reading, walking my dog and other outdoor activities, participating in my volunteer jobs, experimenting with cooking, watercolor painting. I don't know, when do you want me to stop? Story 26. Do people still have televisions nowadays? Reading books, writing, sleeping or napping, texting people, cooking, taking selfies in front of the mirror, showering, sitting on the toilet reading old magazines, researching things for my writings on the internet, meeting friends, dating, sex, doing groceries and visiting stores to check what they have, Reddit and Blue Sky, and eventually, when I get desperate, masturbating. Story 27. I wonder what is considered a lot of television? I watch about 6 hours, we only watch on the weekend, and I feel that's a lot, but I can imagine for some that's not a lot at all. Often in the evening, we play board games, read a book, play a computer game, or have sex. Story 28. I'll read, make song covers, and if I want to watch a movie on my own terms, I'll usually buy it on YouTube Movies or get a version that has audio description from a website called Audio Vault. Story 29. Reading and playing board games mostly. Also playing with my daughter. It's been more than 20 years since the last time I had a television at home. Never missed it once. Story 30. Job, wife, grown kids, grandchildren, cooking, eating, chores, friendships, home maintenance, video games, pets, YouTube, Reddit, and sleep. Not counting minor things. Love life every day. Story 31. Physically doing things outside and inside like walking, skiing, kite flying, etc. I can't stand television, the greatest brainwashing device ever invented. I run it for background noise. Story 32. We play instruments, listen to music, and enjoy hobbies. We don't have a television, but we watch selective items such as Digging for Britain or Wolf Hall from time to time on the computer. Story 33. I work 10 to 12-hour days. I used to keep up with all the current TV shows. Now, I am just looking forward to the backlog I will have to watch when I eventually get a job with better hours. Story 34. I play the piano and go to classical concerts almost every day. If I don't do that, I read books, biographies, and analyses of Mozart or Beethoven and their works. I also play a lot of video games. Story 35. Play music, play video games, go hiking, bike, and spend time with friends. I watch a decent amount of YouTube, so there's also that. During my downtime, I usually do something fun and engaging. I can't usually focus on watching television, and if I do try to watch, I feel like I'm wasting time. Story 36. I do not have a television. I spend way too much time gaming and on social media instead. I also read books and take walks, but I will not lie about where the bulk of my time goes. Story 37. Existing within the walls of my phone, I read a lot and occasionally take breaks from the books to learn languages. Write, listen to music, create art, and mindlessly scroll for minutes or hours on end. When my partner is around, I paint on a paper pad with real brushes, read real physical books, play the guitar and sing, and go to the gym, all to impress him, of course. Story 38. Read, gaming, talk to my wife and kids a lot, play with the kids, clean, work on items around the house, hang with friends, go fishing, travel. I probably watch 4 hours of television per month. More if we are flying somewhere. Story 39. I deleted my social media apps, and my wife monopolizes our television, with my happy consent. So now I read for hours every day. I'm happier and healthier than I've been in a decade, honestly, and often my wife or closest friends will start reading the same book as me, and we can all discuss it together. It's a lovely, fulfilling pastime. Story 40. I want to watch TV, but I really do not like a lot of programming, and I am a White Sox and Bears fan, so my viewing is 1 or 2 hours a month. Here is how I spend my free time. I run several hours a week. 2 or 3 times a week, I have a drink and chat with friends at a local establishment. Outside of winter, I sit by my fire pit and listen to music. I cycle or kayak a little bit, excluding winter. I spend a lot of January and February fixing all the broken stuff in my house that I did not want to touch when it was warm. Story 41. I ride my bike a lot. I have dogs that need exercise, so every night my girlfriend and I ride 4 miles with the dogs running with us. The summer here now, so we ride to a beautiful swimming hole, spend half an hour in the river, then ride home. Back at home, we have a lot of vegetables growing, and we have 3 laying hens. These need attention. We both read a lot, and we both really enjoy spending intimate time together, so 3 weeks of any given month there's that. During winter, we will watch a few movies or binge a series or 2. I listen to a lot of different podcasts while at work, so I keep up with what's going on in the world that way. Television news is just rich people propaganda. I try to avoid it, but sometimes watch it just to see the spin that the networks are putting on different current events. Story 42. I like restoring old soda machines, tools, and old cars. I also garden a lot. I've got about 50 fruit trees and shrubs, but I also love growing peppers and other annual crops. I used to restore arcade machines, but they aren't cheap anymore. I also do a lot of camping and traveling. Story 43. I scrolled and scrolled and didn't see the real answer to the perfect life. Riding bikes with your friends. My friends are ages 3 to 83, and almost all my bikes are motorcycles, but I can tell you that my physical, mental, and spiritual health has blossomed from spending all my free time and energy doing or planning riding time. There's such community and skill building, excellent scenery, and intimate awareness of weather. When you allow your adrenaline to spike during challenging fun, your body stops having the anxiety response for no reason. You'll eat better, sleep deeply, and always have fun stories to tell at parties. I've seen the most beautiful mountaintops, the clearest streams, and the coolest changes in topography. The silence in my helmet allows me to work on my problems, or I can enjoy my music and be in my flow, enjoying the moment. My friends push me to be the best, toughest girl I can be, and I consistently rise to the occasion. And when I try and fail, we've got many hands and good gear and tools. It's everything, everyone. Story 44. I have been listening to audiobooks more this year. Television is so boring to me, so it is hard to get me to sit down and watch anything, unless it is very niche with a specific storyline. Story 45. I work about 50 to 55 hours a week, and then I spend a lot of time walking the dog and going to the gym or driving 1 to 2 hours every which way on the weekends to visit friends halfway across my state. Story 46. Drawing and painting, reading and audiobooks, podcasts, sewing, I make weird cuddly animals, coding, country dog walks, pretty rock and roll. I watch no television at all except for perhaps a handful of films per year.